All right, good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob live from Florida today and tomorrow. First thing I want to check off is just making sure that my audio video looks okay. And that's kind of a different little setup here. I got all new equipment down here. So if you guys could just type in the chat how the audio sounds. And as far as setups, I've got some early setups here. Sounds great, Rob. Perfect. Awesome. All right, so we got some setups here on the NQ. Looking at a long here at the 25,492. 25,492, targeting the 25,499 and the 502, with a stop loss at the 25,481. And then to the top side, looking at 25,636, targeting 25,629, and then 25,626. Sorry, there's construction in the marina outside, and I think I'm gonna have to hear that beeping of the whatever tractor they're using. Stop loss at the 25,643. And then on the NQ, on the ES, we still got this set up here at the 68.7650, targeting the 68.72. TP2 targeting 68.70 with a stop loss at 68.81. And an idea that I had is I'll start maybe putting in the numbers into the chat just to kind of help people that I know that this screen might be a little condensed. So far, this new laptop is pretty fantastic. And the part that I don't like is that I think it's actually quicker than my desktop PC that I built, which I'm not understanding. Specs on the desktop are stronger, but all right, on the ES, let's jump back to the ES, and there's an area here that we can map out. Right here, a nice little push out of this area. Let's just see if there's anything worth looking at here. All right, so a quick little setup here on the ES based off of that nice little push this morning. An entry at the 67.9150, 67.9150, targeting the 67.94, the 67.97 as TP2, with a stop loss at the 67.87. Yeah, Steve, I'll go over them one more time. So currently we're looking at a setup on the ES long 67.9150 with a TP1 at 67.94, TP2 at 67.97 with a stop loss at 67.87. And then to the short, we're looking at a short on the ES at the 68.7650, targeting 68.72 and 68.70 with a stop loss at 68.81. And on the NQ, we're looking at a short at the 25.636, targeting the 25.629. TP2 would be at the 25.626 with a stop loss at the 25.643. Below us, we've got a long on the NQ at the 25.492, TP1 at 25.499. Sorry, TP1 at 25.499, TP2 at 25.502 with a stop loss at 25.481. And Q's got an area pretty close to where the NQ, I'm sorry, where the ES setup originated from. Let's see how that. All right, that's not as clean. The only setup I see down here, I'll leave this kind of shaded off. It's right down here, but it's a big stop loss area right there. So not super interested in that. All right, so I think we're mapped out pretty good here so far. Nice, that worked. All right, let me jump down to the 1. Let's see if this, how quick this does that. All right, that's pretty quick. So typically at the house, I mean, when I switch over from like the 15 to the 1, when I'm not streaming, it's very fast. But the second you start streaming, you know, there's obviously an additional lag because it's trying to take resources from all the monitors, and, you know, obviously streaming this in real time. So that actually moved over to the 1 minute very, very quickly, which I like. All right, let's see if we get let's see if we can get here a footprint confirmation. So right now the 40s are being defended, not necessarily the 36. Well, 37s are okay. Yeah, we got some defense. The 40s are very close to this 43 stop loss. So I would like to see only 3 or 4 points of drawdown here on this NQ trade. Had some fantastic setups on Friday. Left my signal group early in the morning, actually before I went to go play golf. I think there was 3 setups, all hit TP1 and TP2. So that is one of the benefits of the signal service, is that when you're not on, when I'm not on stream, you're still getting the signals as I see them. And it's $40. I mean, I think it's ridiculously cheap. You know, one signal that you take that on a few micros, and you've already got that paid for. Take it on NQ, you have it paid for almost for the entire year. Not a plug, just telling you what I think. Morning, Andra. Good morning, Steve Futures. Crypto Nerd, good morning. Keith, good morning. Patty, good morning. Buddy, good morning. Jeffrey, good morning. Dr. JC, good morning. Ram, good morning. AV8, good morning. All right, let's see what happens here. It was pretty close to the tap there. That's the tap. Let's see if it wants to go to the 40s. Okay. Now give me a footprint confirmation here. Oh, dang. Dang, that was quick. TP1 and TP2, they stepped in pretty damn strong. Well, TP1, TP2 guys on that resting limit order. Easy peasy. I'm still looking here because the sellers are still pretty strong. So if I can get another footprint confirmation, I would nothing there yet. Nothing there yet. I see a pretty good downside move here. Dang, I missed that one. I got the footprint confirmation, but it was just way too fast. On the NQ, it's a little tough. Let's see if I can... Yeah, buyers now are stepping in pretty strong. There is some unbalanced volume sitting way down there at the 617s that they could be interested in. Well, that took forever. I didn't like that. Did not like that. Did not like that. That order took a long time. And I don't have a lot of defense. Ugh. Everybody's a winner besides me today. Alright, let's put it right here. I think that's where the defense could come in. Might give me something here. Right to the tick there. All right, at least got something. At least got something out of it. Up $1,000. So delayed. Yeah, we might be. I don't know. I mean, the internet's super fast here. That order kind of took a long time to mark it into. So right now the unbalanced area on here is at the like 617. So right around here, I could see it wanting to rebalance. Somewhere in this region right here. Good job, guys. Good job, Steve. Good job, Scott. Good job, Mike. Crypto Nerd, nice one. There you go. Just balanced it out right there. 25,616. That was kind of an easy one to spot. All right, so we're on the books. I think I've told you guys many times, I'm super superstitious. So first time live in Florida. Just wanted to make sure I can, secure at least a win. Small win, to be honest with you. Let's see, what are we up? Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'll take it. So up 225 on cash. The rest are all funded. And I'm about $100 from that payout. If you guys got the... I wasn't able to take the setups on Friday. I was only able to take one setup on Friday. I left a resting limit order on my Iron Beam account for TP1. I was just targeting. I went golfing, and my signal group kind of went on fire. I kind of saw the messages coming through, so I looked at that, and that was up $150, which was nice. If I would have been able to take it on actual Ninja, I just wasn't in front of the charts, and it was not. I didn't think it would be a good idea to do that. Oh, nice little dump. All right, so I guess we can take a picture of this guy here. All right, let's get rid of these lines. They did their job. Let's jump to the 15-minute. So I think I got the NQ trades put into the chat. Let me just put in the ES. Or you know what? Maybe I'm missing one from the NQ. That's the problem with this. I don't want to confuse people. ES short entry 68.71.50. TP1 68.72. 25. TP2 68.70. Stop loss. Okay, and then ES long entry 6791. TB1 6794 75. TP2 6797.25. Stop loss 6787.25. All right, so I think we got them. All right, and then I got to add the NQ long. Did you guys see how that explosion of a reaction right at that entry? I mean, that, I think you guys hit TP1 and TP2 within seconds there. It was very, very... 490. See, when I type them into the chat, this is leaving room for error now. 25 492, TP1 25 499. TP2 25 502.75. Stop loss 25 481.25. Okay, cool. All right, so all the setups are in the chat as of right now. And I'll be right back. Let's see if this works.
Platform 17 for the 1832 South Central service to Brighton, fast to East Croydon, then Red Hill, Gatwick Airport, Three Bridges, Waltham, Haywards Heath, Wimblesfield, Burgess Hill, Essex, Preston Park, and Brighton. Customers for London Road, School, Falmer and Lewis, also Hove and stations to Worthing should change at right.
All right, it's a nice little win there in the morning. Sorry, I know my P&L usually is right above my webcam, but I don't have. I was having an issue with my top monitor, putting it up on there. It kept freezing my indicator, so I it's gonna have to sit there. But as long as it shows green, I don't care. All right, I think someone asked me how golf was. Golf has been, I had a great great 3 days. I mean, the actual golf game was not great, but we played 3 really, really nice courses. Spanish Wells in Bonita Beach. We played Valencia, and we played Panther Run. Panther Run was top notch. Really, really nice course. I think I shot between 94 and 96 on all 3 rounds, so nothing really to write home about, but I think it could have been a lot worse. Well, let's just say I started with 24 balls, and I think I got 3 balls left in my bag. A lot of water in Florida. Lots of water. But the food, man, we went to some awesome restaurants. We went to this like downtown, it's called Mercado in Bonita Springs, and it was fantastic. We had a really nice dinner. Went to a cigar lounge that was right there. That was kind of like I don't want to say a nightclub, but it was like it was going on, and it was nice. I mean, it was like a car show there. I think I saw every single nice car, Ferraris, a bunch of McLarens, some GT3 Porsches. Took some video to send to my son. It was sweet. All right, let's see what is going on here. NQ. Okay, the NQ made a nice little push there. Let's jump over here. Let's see if we can find something else. This is kind of interesting. Don't necessarily know. I'm gonna have 1 minute. Yeah, much quicker. Much quicker. That's kind of weird. Oh man, well, that was my entry. That was my entry, and that would have already hit TP1. Dang it! I was talking too much. That was the entry right there, and it hit TP1. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Just could not get that one in quick enough. Dang it. That would have been TP1 and TP2. All facts. Let me take a look. That's the one thing I was worried about with, putting these into chat, because I don't want to. Let's see, hold on. The first entry, so that's the ES short entry. Let's take a look at it. ES 68. Yeah, you're right. It's supposed to be 6876. And I don't think I can. All right, let me remove it. Oh, can I copy this? Nice. Remove. Okay, message. Paste. $68.76.50. Okay, TP 172. Just a lot of work double checking all these and still trying to find setups. All right. Now that ES short entry should be correct. Scott, how did you see that one? Which one, Scott? The one I was just mapping out? That I mapped out a little late. That was that impulsive move. I think it was right here, NQ. Where was it at? Where was it at? Shit, I don't even know where it was at now. Let's see here. Oh, that was at the 2636. Yeah, that's just a very quick break of structure right here. And volume left unbalanced. It's actually a pretty simple trade, but I just didn't have enough time to map the entire thing out. Mike, I actually think that's a great idea. You got a bunch of really good indicators, man. I would set up yourself a little shop, Shopify or whatever, and even if it's 30, 40 bucks or whatever it is, whatever you think, just for your time. But that's you've got some fire indicators. Your IB low, high. Just got a few of them that I use that are pretty fantastic, and they just work. Let's see what else we got going on. So we got about 30 minutes 25 minutes for IB to be set. Another thing is I got to get up pretty regularly over here. This chair sucks. I know my wife's probably watching the stream, but this chair is terrible. I gotta go to Costco or Sam's Club and see if I can get a nice one. I just can't get one with arms, which I really like, but you know, maybe I can. It's killing my back here. And I like to get the camera down a little bit. I feel like you guys are like right on top of my head. But I know you guys are not here to see my beautiful face. We're here for the trades. All right, let's see what does the market want to do now. Let's go to the 5 minute so we can see some more chart. This is bothering me now that this laptop's so quick over here. I love it, but it's kind of bothering me that my desktop one is kind of putting it to shame a little bit. It's handling the resources of the stream really well. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, okay, so we got a lot of supply right above us. So they're going to want to play in this little, right above IB high, actually. They've got a few things going on. $720s, huh? $720s. Okay. A lot of supply right here. So they're going to want to play in here, open up some auctions. And then where do they want to dump? Oh, wow. 662. What's going on at 662? Maybe stops. Yeah, a lot of liquidity. A lot of unbalanced volume sitting right above IB high. And then let's see where they want to dump that off at. 525s. So IB low, IB low. Okay, so this could be one of those classic NQ setups where they sweep the open up auctions at the top side of the IB, and by the whatever, it could come very quickly, it could come by the end of the day, they swipe IB low. That to me right now seems like the most natural play for the market. It's just a very repeatable, common setup that they do, and it looks like it's going to play out here today. So IB low, which is down here right now, is where they would want to close out a bunch of this auction that happens right here. Yeah, the weekend was great, Key. I was just explaining. I had 3 days of golf. Played some really nice courses down in Bonita Beach. We went to this. It was a. I don't know what you would call it, but it was like an entertainment district called Mercado. That was just a row of really nice restaurants, and it was good. It's good. I drove down, so I rented a car from RSW and drove down to my place in Deerfield Beach. Honestly, mainly I wanted to test out the stream here because when winter break comes, I'll be down here for about 2 weeks, and I wanted just to make sure that everything would be running good, so I wouldn't have to be stressing out over winter break. And so far, everything seems to be working pretty good. I would say, Key, it was probably my game was probably a little worse than normal. I was between like 90. Actually, I think it was like 95 to like 98. Typically shoot in the 92, 93 areas, so not horribly different, but there's just a lot of water. Panther Run, their claim to fame is they've got 18 holes. 18, every single hole has water. Now, granted, fairways were very wide, so I mean it was kind of forgiving, but eventually you face the water. Mike, that would be a steal. I also notice it's super sunny down here, so my background looks really bright. But it's better than the foot of snow or not foot, I think they got like 6 inches of snow in Chicago. My wife was not happy this morning because my son had late start, and he wasn't up to shovel the snow, which I wasn't very happy about. So she had to do it, and she wasn't very happy. So I gotta make up to her on that one. All right, so they just tapped in. You can see they just tapped into pretty big liquidity right there, right above the 25.6, about the 660s. And like I said, this day to me looks like a very classic setup on the NQ. A lot of supply above IB. They just already swept into it. They could go all the way up to the 720s, but they're going to dump it all off at the 525s. So open auction, close auction. How it gets there, it could take all day. It could take 15 minutes. It could take 5 minutes. But that's what I see currently. Let's see what the ES is doing. All right, let's take a look at the ES here. No, nothing yet. Morning, Nate. Yeah. Uh-oh. Wifey's on the stream already complaining that she shoveled twice already. Sorry, babes. Jimba, so I'm primarily when I'm trading, pretty much after the first 15 minutes of the market open, I am on a 1 and 5 minutes. So currently I'm on a 5 minute. But my setups are based on the 5 and 15. And then refinement on the TPs typically is on the 1. If I need to. Sometimes I don't even need to do that. So we're in a very balanced area right here. It's kind of wedging pretty strong. Yeah, they could make their move. So Jimbo, this is just an area of liquidity that when we were down here, I knew that the market's going to want to tap into here. Their top area to open and close auctions. So it's usually my blue boxes. And my market theory for today, which is pretty repeatable, is open up auctions here, and then they're going to close down right where IB low is at. Just a pretty classic play. So the circles that you'll see on my chart is where the market needs to balance out. So it'll tap into it, and then they are areas of open and closing auctions. Is it me, or are there glitches on the NQ chart? Like glitches on the stream? What do you mean? What do you mean? Talk to me. Kind of bright in the background. Yeah, no. Background is bright. I don't know how to fix that. Oh. Don't scare me like that, Patty. Alright, what else we got brewing here? So on the NQ, we've got this shaded area down here that seemed interesting to me, but if you guys remember, I said the only reason I don't like it is that there's a very, very large stop hunt right here. And we can get the reaction off of our entry, but they can make that final sweep into IB low. So that equates to like a C setup for me. I'd rather wait for something on the ES or on an IB play. It's just a little bit more high probability for me. Can you guys even see the open P&L and session P&L? I know it's probably really small compared to how I normally have it. Oh, you know what I could do? I could actually do a screen capture and just have another bigger, okay. I'll take a mental note. I think I have a fix for that. I don't know why I didn't think of it yesterday. Don't see it. Okay, I kind of figured that. I know it's kind of small at the bottom here. It's down here. What else we got? So Apex's sale ends tomorrow at midnight. So they're running that 70% off. And then they've got $40 PA activation. So once you pass your eval, your normal fee to get that PA, I should know this, but it's I think 85 to $100. And if you're scaling up into some pretty big accounts like 5, 10, 15, 20, that right there is saving you an absolute boatload of money. So that's, I think, the uniqueness of that sale. As far as everybody else, Tradeify is 30% off into the 14th. Funding Ticks is 20% off if you're existing, 35% off if you're new. And Take Profit, I believe, is at 40% still. Yeah, they are. No activation. You can use code TraderRob for any of those. So I'm looking forward to once I finish the stream here. There's a great, I think I talked to you guys about it a couple weeks ago. There's a great Cuban restaurant right next to our place here. It's called Little Havana. And they make the best Cuban coffee. I mean, ours is pretty good that we brew at our house. But they make something special there. So, and then maybe I'll take a look and see what they have for lunch. But I'm kind of looking forward to that. Maybe even more than the next trade setup. All right, about 10 minutes for IB to be set. I'll be right back. this much. So, Steve, my only problem with doing that, it's obviously very easy for me to increase the fonts here. The issue that I'm running into is like TP1 and TP2, when they're kind of close to each other, they start overlapping and it just doesn't look very good. So it's kind of like, you know, you fix one thing and then you... Currently all the setups are in the chat. Too small to CPL. Yeah, I get you. I knew that would be an issue down here with the P&L, but it was the only thing I could think of right now. Maybe by tomorrow I'll shrink my webcam a little bit, and then I'll just do a screen capture of this and then put it up there. Any codes? Any codes for what? Let's see here. What about Top Step? Okay, so I started off my prop firm adventure, I guess, with Top Step, and I do believe that they are a very good prop firm. I mean, they're pretty much like the pioneers in it. There are no codes. I have no codes for Top Step. They ended affiliate partnerships a few years back, which is why majority of the YouTube people or influencers or traders, they don't promote them anymore. Now, I still say that they're a great prop firm. I'm just not happy with their Top Step X platform. And I have 2 Top Step X evaluations that they were super cheap. I think I got them when they first started at like $5. But I just don't like how there's no way of putting... Let's see if I can fix this here a little bit. There's no way of putting like just... I know you could put bracket orders preset, but you have to go into a settings to put that. And I think that's really dumb. I think they should just have a box there where it says, okay, my entry's here. Stop loss is going to be at this entry. Take profit's going to be at this level. Go. And the bracket order should just pop up like every trading platform that's out there. So they kind of like fix your risk and your reward. But the problem with that is, you know, if you're not in front of the charts, and it's just, I don't know, it's just not very clean for me. Once they stopped, you know, the support with NinjaTrader charts, that's where that kind of relationship came to an end for me personally. Alpha Futures I've never worked with. I've never used them. So far I'm pretty happy with the 4 firms that I've got up on here. All right, so they tap back a little bit more into that pocket. About 3 minutes left for IB. Now, the only issue with IB right now is that we're currently kind of setting the IB on almost every candle. So when it's that close, it turns into be a little bit trickier of a play. Like, I would like to see it actually come right back down here to like the 620s, then retest the IB high and possibly take a short from there. We get a confirmation. Yes, it's just kind of sitting here in the middle top end of the IB range. Pretty far from our setups right now currently. 666. Okay, I like to see that. I like to see that. Let's see if we can get a push back into it. Okay, IB is set. And take this off right now, just make it a little clearer. So IB is at 25,666.50. So we got the 75s they might want to tap into, and the 87s. 75, so right here. What is that? That's about 9 points. Not terrible. So they've got supply kind of clustered here. 675, 668. So right around 687. So right here. That's going to be another area. And then the 700s. So they got a lot sitting at the IB high, but then they also got a few stops between that. You know, resting limit order on the 15 points. You know, you're saved with this level of defense right here. We'll see what happens here. So far, the strength on buyers is not very strong to the downside, so could see a fade here. Could see a big sweep and then a fade down. This chair is killing my back. But that's my footprint chart. My NQ is running on a 20 range footprint, and my ES is running on a 4 range. That is currently what I use for my confirmations, my entry confirmations. A lot of interest above IB, so we gotta be careful with that. I'd like to see, I like this. I don't necessarily like these two guys right up here. But not everything is perfect. super bright. Yeah, Morgan. So that's kind of the risk here. I'm not worried about this one necessarily, but I'm definitely worried about these two right up here. So that is yes a concern. As far as unbalanced areas, they've got the 642s right here. This could be an area that they're going to want to close out. See what happens here. So watch the sweep if it comes. We also left the 650s unbalanced. I like that. So right here. Unless they tap into it right now. Don't like that. Don't take this yet. Don't take this yet. Take the IB high first. Don't take this. Of course you did. Of course you did. All right. Not liking that. Not liking that at all. So now the only thing they're leaving us is the 25s. And that's kind of a ways to go from IB. So they, if you could tell, they already balanced out my kind of intermediate targets, which doesn't give me a great fuzzy feeling. Now we could get a push here. Now I'm almost more interested in a sweep to the 675s, leaving an unbalanced area here, depending on what the market wants to do here. But they already balanced out my two intermediate targets that I had mapped out. Then I knew they had to balance out. I was just hoping that they would want to, maybe open up some more auctions up here before dumping it down, but they might have got enough on that sweep right here. Now they take out the 25s. Now it's a different, becomes a different proposition. So a Derpy Ninja, you see, this is where your impulsive move is happening right here. When you get this impulsive move, you're going to be left with a lot of unbalanced volume, and that is where the market wants to either open or close an auction. It's just the same theory. It just happens repetitively every single day, every minute of the day. That's all that they're doing, and that's pretty much just the market makers looking for pockets that they can take. And I gave a big not lecture, Jesus, a big lesson on that last week. But it's You know, that's an important skill to figure out in trading, because it gives you your setup a lot more probability. So like now the IB high for me is much lower probability because they've already balanced out a lot of the volume that I have seen on the chart. And they just practically tapped into the 25s. They left that a little, right, but they're going to go after it. I think they might have there. Yeah, so you can see they tapped right into it. And it's areas where you see the reactions. That's where my entries come from. And once you figure that part out, your win rate goes through the roof. And like I mentioned, you know, their final destination is going to be the IB low. It's just how they get there is the problem of just directional trading, taking a short and targeting the 525. Yeah, you can make a shit ton of money. But I don't know if they're going to want to sweep the 675s, the 687s, and I'm not looking for 60 points of drawdown. So that's why I'll never be a directional trader. You know, there's people that are really good at it, or momentum traders. That's not my style. I'm looking for areas that I want to follow the market, the big market volume participants. I want to see where they've historically had a very big interest in the market, which is where I get my levels from. And then I match them up to the volume profile. And, you know, that's where level 2 then also becomes helpful, because you can visualize your levels coming to life by the interest that level 2 is showing. So it's kind of a 3-prong approach, all volume based, all price action. So let's see if they make a run here for the IB low now. That would be very, very, very interesting. Let's delete this guy. Already balanced him out. Oh no. Did I just screw this up? No, I did not. Good job. All right, good job. Well, you know, I could show some of the setups from Friday. Let's see. Well, we got some time here. So on Friday, the 7th at 6:47 a.m., TP1, TP2 hit on a setup that I left the signal service with. Short on the ES, short on the NQ, and all of those hit. This one was really nice. About a point of drawdown. Swept TP1 and TP2 really fast. NQ, same thing. Nice, maybe about 4 or 5 points. Let's see, this was 9 points of risk. So yeah, probably about 5 points of drawdown there. TP1, TP2. And there was one more. I just don't think I have it mapped out here. But those are the setups that I left my signal group on Friday. I know I wasn't live Friday. Oh, I think I got a picture of one of the courses here. I think this was Spanish Wells. Yeah. No, it wasn't Spanish Wells. That was the first day. I forgot where the hell we were at. Oh, Valencia. That was Valencia. Well, now I got the landscapers outside, so that's going to be annoying. So, like I mentioned, I mean, pretty repeatable, very simple setup here that the NQ does almost a lot. You know, they build up their volume, they open up their auction here, and now they're just going to close it right off at the 525. Now, I did have a setup here, so I can bring this guy down a little bit. Did have a setup here at the 25 531s, but I don't like it because of the fact of all of this volume that they want to balance out right at IB low. So you can get the sweep there. So our stop loss is not very protected. And I'm sorry for the noise, but they're literally right outside my window. Let's see what they're looking at here. 525s. Yep. All right, so I really like the IB low play here today. This could be a very, very, very nice setup. Jim, if you're asking me why I didn't short, that's not my style of trading. I'm not looking for huge drawdowns on my trades. Max drawdown I like to see is 4 or 5 points, and I don't get that on directional momentum plays. I can see the market very well. I can see what it wants to do, but the way it gets there is not my style. Seem to be getting a little closer to the ES trade as well. So this is where I expect the first reaction at the 531s. And then the 500s right now is really the only defense there. That's way too big of a stop for this IB setup. They were stacking in at the 525s, but now now they're stepping back in a little bit. And they're going to want to come after this. They're going to close off their auctions here. Let's see if we can just jump on their coattails here for a little bit. Should be the first reactionary point, right? A few points below here. That happened a little earlier than what I thought it would. Let's see. All right, let's see if we get that reaction here at the 31s. That would have been where my setup would have been without that unbalanced volume below. Let's see if they do a quick sweep or they do the reaction here I thought they would do. Well, they're gearing up for something here. All right, 51s. There we go. No footprint confirmation there. Could come after the 500s, to be honest with you. It could. Let's see. Okay. Good prime example of a footprint confirmation saving you out of a trade. Now let's see the setup. 492. So the 500s had a lot. That's where they pretty much just tapped right into it. So let's see. Oh, I don't need 15 points now. Ah, they missed our entry by like a point. Not even a point. I think a few ticks right there. Literally a few ticks. Oh, that was crazy. Oh, that stunk. Literally missed our entry by a few ticks there. That was nasty. Come on, man. That was a tick. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was 2 ticks. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. All right, now what could they want to do? All right, now they're defending IB low, so let's see. Maybe we can target at the backside of it. Maybe we could take a short here now off IB low. Man, that was nasty. That was like a tick, man. That would have been a great setup right there. So this setup, guys, at this point becomes a lot less efficient or effective, just because it balanced out the volume that I thought I needed to do. So at this point, you know, if a footprint confirmation would be a great tool to use, but the setup starts to diminish when we missed it by that close. I hope you guys all understand that part. And they could target IB low, which would be a very nice little setup as well. They could very easily target that. So they kind of swept right there. That's the area. I mean, this was the area where they knew that they were going to close out a lot. They closed a lot of auction out right here. So the market theory played out exactly how I thought it would. We still got a few ways to go. I'm watching the ES on the other, my chart on the top. So now looking to see maybe a play on the IB low. You can almost target TP2 on the IB low if you get a good footprint confirmation here. Just because that's a few points above it is where they left a lot of volume unbalanced. We'll see, we'll see. Or maybe we wait for the ES trade. It might be a little bit more high probability. Or both. See what happens here. Alright, tapped in there. Okay, not interested anymore. Like I said, this is very low probability right now just because of the fact that we had that sweep right there. Okay, let's look at the ES. Now we can look at the ES. Let's see what the ES gives us here. I would like the ES to now take our entry. Leave that up there alone. Leave it alone. We don't need to go back up there again. Oh, let me go to the 1 minute. So fast. Love it. Yeah, just keep coming right down to our entry. 67.91. Huh. All right, Steve, have a great day, man. So what's the poll? How many people stayed out of that NQ when once I said, you know, the sweep was already happened? I'm curious to know. So I don't like what the ES just did there. Do not like that they just swept that. It's getting tricky here in the later morning. It's definitely getting a little trickier. Let's get rid of this. So we don't need to lose that sight of that. And yeah, I mean, you guys can say that the NQ keeps me out of some good, my footprint confirmation keeps me out of some NQ good trades, but I'd rather prevent me from the losing trades. I'm happy taking a win or two a day and just a solid win rate. That's all I care about. I don't like what the ES just did there. Let's see what happens here. Kind of a half-ass footprint confirmation there. Let's see him tap in here. All right, let's see what happens here now. Kind of ugly. Not a terrible footprint confirmation. It's actually pretty bad. Let's see here. Is there anything to target? Missed that one already. So I was really looking for that short right here. And I did get a footprint confirmation. It's just not, I wasn't very quick there. That would have got me the 15 points, no problem. Buyers look kind of strong here though. What else do they got to balance out? The 490s. 490s right here. It's about 15 points. But they're strong here, man. The buyers are very strong right here. I don't think I want to dabble there. Good job. Was a decent short right here. You guys can see the... Oh, this is going to really look ugly, but... So, that was your footprint confirmation right here. Very small positive delta, so not the greatest. Get rid of this. We don't need this guy anymore. Right, let's go here. Actually, a better footprint confirmation right there. That was a better one. We could target the 10s from here. Do I want to do that? No. Stay a little. Stay patient. Stay patient. Could make a case for targeting, but the buyers are stronger than, I think the buyers are stronger right now. So I don't feel like that's a great play. And I don't like what the ES just did. This shit right here bothered me a lot. And they balanced out, I'm sorry, this candle right here bothered me a lot. They balanced out a lot of the targets there, the bigger targets. So, not the greatest. All right, now let's start looking top down. Let's go to the NQ. Let's go to the 15-minute again. Well, that play played out pretty much exactly how I thought it would. All right, now this is ugly though. Yeah, they. So you've got some origination here, some unbalanced volume right here. They've really used that up. They beat it. They beat that one up. Let's see. No, good, good. There is nothing clean, so nothing there. Nothing there, and that's just what I thought. The buyers were stronger there. Good trade management. Let's take a look at the ES. So the ES did make a move right here that we're just tapping into. And you could see a reaction right here. That looks actually halfway decent, 68.20. Yeah. This looks really decent. All right, so this looks really decent to me. Short at the 68.20 and matches up perfectly with the level 2. Really good. Really good area right there of interest. So 68.20 targeting the 68.17 and TP2 at the 68.15 with a stop loss at 68.25. I like that a lot. Billy Joe. So right now I base my contract, my position size, based on my overall account balance. But I am very right now. I'm very like, I don't know what the right word is. Very income based on my trading. So I typically pull out from my cash account right around the $4,500 profit, $45 to $5,000 in profit, and then I typically, with that, will keep growing the accounts by like $2,000 per payout. So that's kind of the way I look at it, and I start sizing up pretty much every time I double the account. So if I can double the account, then I can go up to two minis. And I'm very comfortable and very happy with the one mini right now for the position sizing. It just fits me well. You always want to be growing, but at the same time, you want to be extremely comfortable with your position sizing, because you jump up maybe a little early, and it could be a very decisive negative impact when you might get out of trades a little bit earlier than you should, and you might not have the room in your stop loss anymore to weather the positions that you think are going to work out, and that affects trading. So you always want to stick to the position size where you feel confident in your setup and you feel confident in seeing kind of those trades play through. Let me stretch out my back here a little bit. Sorry, the landscapers are back. They're in the front. No, I don't scale out because I don't have the ability to scale out at 1E mini. If you take 10 micros, you can scale out 5 and 5, or you got to go to two minis to scale out. So you can't scale out with one mini. Now, you could always do, hit your entry at TP1, go to break even. There's a lot of different ways to play it, but can't really scale out with 1E mini here. Let's see what happens here with the ES. All right, they left a lot of supply unbalanced at the top, so I like that. I'd like to see a nice straight shot down here, though. I want to see a lot of dancing. But this is going to be an area right here. We got the 90s as another area right here that's got defense, so I like that. No, what the hell is that? That's not what I want to do. Right there. So the white line just means defense right there. After that defense, we got nothing. Don't have much. Now, I don't want them touching this. And they're going to. They just did. Yeah, see, I don't like this pattern that they're doing right here of balancing out. I like targets to be above us that have been unbalanced. Gives me a lot of confidence that, you know, even though there might be some movement down here, that ultimately the goal would be to, and this really, what they just did was balance that volume out. I don't like that. So, let's switch this guy down. Coffee's out. I don't want to say never, but I would say 95% of all my trades are during the regular session. You know, if there's a great setup, I mean, people that are on my signal service sometimes see me at 11 o'clock at night, you know, posting either a setup or, you know, taking a setup. But I would say 95% of all my trades come in the regular market hours. And you may see me take a trade even at the 67.92s, a couple ticks above our entry, depending on the footprint confirmation, because this is all stacked up right here very nicely. Sets up really nice in the volume profile. Just don't want to see them balance out a lot of stuff here, which they already did. They kind of screwed me on the bigger target. Now, I'd like to see a straight push down. I might be asking for too much, though. We'll see. Come on. Come on, yeah, stop dancing. I know you gotta get through this little pocket. It's getting through this pocket right here, guys. So, I mean, that's what it's churning through. I'd like to see kind of an impulsive move right now to the downside. I don't know how much longer I can sit on this chair. My back is killing me. Didn't think about that one. I didn't think about the chair situation. All right, let's see the impulse down. It's got to get through the 95s. Good footprint confirmation there. Probably give you 2-3 points. It does. See how beauty that played out? I mean, not our setup, but green footprint, negative to 72 delta. I mean, that's like almost a good liquidity right there. That'll always give you a good 2-3 points. So Casey, no, I mean we're probably an hour from the Everglades, where it gets. Actually, I drove through the Everglades yesterday from Naples down to my place, but we're all coastal here on the near Fort Lauderdale, so I don't see any swamp. And Q's in no man's land right now. Nothing there. So I fly back tomorrow night, and that could be dicey. That could be dicey. Thanks, Casey. I'll give this a few more minutes. My back is not holding up. I gotta go to Costco or Sam's Club here this morning and see if I can buy an office chair, something comfortable. Steve, it all depends on the what I see on TP1 and TP2 as far as my unbalanced volume. If I have a lot of conviction for TP2, that's what I will target. TP1 will always be my safest target. But like right now, TP2, they've balanced the absolute shit out of it, as you can see on the chart. It's pretty simple. Now I'm looking for an impulsive move into entry. I'm okay with it dancing a little bit at the 94s, but I'd like to see them make a strong move into the 91s. 92. Like I said, I wouldn't even mind taking the, if I get a good footprint confirmation, I could go right off the 92s. But market's gonna have to do something here soon. I got 120 days. Well, on my 1 and 5 minute, I got 45 days, but on my 15, 60 minute chart, I've always got 120 days. So you're going to see a big fight here at the 95s. A lot of absorption. A lot of absorption. So they pretty much almost swept the 92s there. 92.75. So that was the fuel. I didn't like that sweep so much. Did not like that sweep right here. Well, they could retest here. I got the 90s, and unfortunately I got the 87.50s. So that's right at our stop, but at least I got a level of defense behind me still. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes right back up to TP2 here too at one point. That's a big area for them to balance back out. And the sellers really are, I'm sorry, the buyers kind of are still stepping in here. So we might miss this move. This move might go without us right here. Intermediate target would be the 6800s. That's an easy place for them to close out auction. Very easy. So I might want to close this out first. 6800s, where's that? Yep. So they just closed that auction at the 6800s. That was all of this right here. All this. I'd say this trade now is probably about a B+. I've churned through a lot that I would like. Alright guys, unfortunately I'm going to have to cut the stream. I'd love for this setup to come to play fruition here on the ES, but it's just dancing around too much. And honestly my back can't hold up any longer. I gotta go see if I can get a chair. So I'll be back at it tomorrow morning. You know, obviously if any new setups come in, I'll post them in the signal service. But happy on the 1,000, green 1,000 for the day. So happy there. Stay patient. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow.